The greater La-Crosse community is taking center stage in the education world with the creation of La-Crosse Promise, a bold two-phase idea that will, in Phase 1, create future centers that will prepare young people for education after high school. And in Phase 2, La-Crosse Promise will economically transform our community by providing scholarship funding to families that live and relocate to the heart of the community. Phase 1 of La-Crosse Promise begins with the introduction of future centers that will prepare students for post-high school education and focus our schools on the importance of continuing education while helping students optimize existing financial scholarships and finding their best career opportunity. Phase 2 of La-Crosse Promise is the economic transformation of our community. Phase 2 is contingent on La-Crosse Promise securing multiple donor funding sources that will close the gap between existing scholarships and providing all students living in the school district of La-Crosse tuition for use at a Wisconsin public or private school of their choice. The concept of an educational promise is already transforming other communities.
Here's the first in our series, The American Spirit.
Good morning, man. How you doing?
Welcome to Kalamazoo, Michigan.
How can you have a healthy community, healthy economics, if you do not have a very well-educated workforce? Can't happen.
Since the program started last year, the economic impact has been swift and impressive. The one-time manufacturing town relied on paper mills. When they shut down, the city fell on hard times. But now it's learning a lot about the power of the promise. 800 new families in the school district, a $10 million housing development, rising property values. How have you seen this change the school system and the students?
A first grader come up to me and say, I'm going to college. I don't know what it is, but I'm going.
Money's going to be a lot easier to come by for school.
That's great. And your folks too?
Oh yeah, my mom cried.
She did?
Yeah.
I was near dropping out, and so once I heard about the promise, I got back in school and am currently getting my grades up to graduate this year.
In so many ways, it has delivered more inspired students,
click on your oscilloscope,
a more educated city, and kids who are as invested in Kalamazoo's future as Kalamazoo is in theirs.
I would like to experience life, go off and do something else, but I will come back to Kalamazoo. I'm just going to come back and do whatever I got to do to return the favor.
Do you think it could be replicated in other cities across the country?
Absolutely. What the Kalamazoo Promise is about is will. And whether or not a community has the will to do this work is the true question.
Our own La-Crosse community, for all of its greatness, has a challenge at the core. And one thing is certain, a community is only as strong as its core. Middle-class families are moving out of the core to outlying areas to escape neighborhood deterioration, aging infrastructure, and for cheaper land and tax rate disparities. But outward migration creates a need to build new schools and new roadways. For every school La-Crosse has closed, other area districts have had to build new. The 5 school districts that serve La-Crosse County have passed referendums totaling $120 million. Yet enrollment countywide has only increased 5.9% in 15 years. To serve sprawling development patterns, we're building new roads that need to be plowed and maintained.
In 2007, we did a detailed, comprehensive study of our entire road system and identified over $24 million worth of unmet road needs with no additional way to pay for it. We're really struggling to stay ahead of that, and we believe the La-Crosse Promise is a potential chance to address these kinds of needs in the long term by reversing the types of development that's happening in our community.
While schools and services in La-Crosse are closing and underutilized, school enrollment is declining. Property values are declining due to less demand. And those residents and businesses that remain in the city pay an increased tax burden to support the dwindling core, while the core is experiencing increasing crime rates and increased pockets of poverty, illustrated by free and reduced lunches in some sections of the core as high as 82%. This is a regional issue that demands a regional solution.
The city of La Crosse is home to 70% of the region's essential institutions and employers. 60% of suburban workers commute to jobs in La Crosse. La Crosse is the area's signature city, and how our region is identified by tourists and industries looking for new places to visit and locate.
La Crosse has been blessed throughout its history with leaders that see a need and step directly into the line of fire. The La Crosse Promise is a private sector solution, funded 100% with private donations. No taxpayer dollars are involved. The La Crosse Promise will transform our community and bring people back to the core to benefit from the educational opportunity. A greater tax base will ease the tax burden on city residents and businesses. As people return, demand for property will increase along with property values.
There are currently over 200 vacant residential parcels available in the city of La Crosse, plus several large redevelopment areas and over 350 homes for sale.
Outlying areas will see demand for more schools and roads stabilize along with their corresponding costs and taxes. As new people embrace the La Crosse Promise and move to the city and current residents stay longer, housing-related industries, building, banking, real estate will experience an increase as new construction and remodeling will be in demand. And that will drive new jobs and fuel an area-wide economic increase across a wide spectrum of businesses. Area corporations and small businesses will be able to more easily recruit and retain a higher caliber of worker, including those from outside the area that will be more willing to leave a job in another city to move to an education-focused community that guarantees higher educational opportunities. Businesses will retain current workers longer as families remain loyal to the area to obtain the educational benefits provided by the La Crosse Promise. And companies looking to relocate will more likely choose a community that is focused on education and a high quality of life. The heart and soul of any community is its core. A strong core is vibrant and inclusive and attracts young and old alike. If the core is strong, we all win. If the core is strong, crime decreases and people move closer to the center of action. If the core is strong, our best and brightest stay. With La Crosse Promise, the best teachers in the country will come and remain in a community that is passionate about education. With La Crosse Promise, students will flourish as they all have the same shot at the American dream. With La Crosse Promise, all families can have the same hope for a future dramatically changed by education. Do we have the will? Do we have someone or some group of people that will step up as they have in a handful of other communities and say, I want to make a difference. I want to impact students, parents, and community leaders. I want to leave a legacy that will make a difference. I want to use education to permanently change people's lives. I want to inspire the dreams of our children and transform our community for generations to come.